Oh my gosh, I think we're going live. It takes a quick second before I'm 100% ready to go. So this is if you're watching the very beginning of this is kind of like the pre-show. Shut up, Smitty. This is the before we go 100% live. Let's put it that way. So let me share, let me copy this link. Gonna be a fun show today, you guys. Why do I talk like that? I don't know. Honestly, yeah, this pre what the hell everything banter. It's very possible that it is the best part of the show. You never know. You never know what's going to happen. All right, we're shared there. We're shared there. We're shared there. It might be overkill, but fuck it. We're doing what we do. Let's do this now. Fuck yeah.
1, 2, 3, 1.
Finally, seeping is the key word here.
Smart enough to figure it out. I just ask questions. Can't talk shit. I'm not the
All
news.
I saw was a lake, mountains, and some trees. That's the running theme on this fucking podcast. Whoever deserves mocking, and that includes a host.
Man, there is a record amount of meth in this place. Kinetic. Just sounds like stuttering Smith.
2022, y'all. Fuck milk crates, y'all.
Get the fuck out of here. What the hell? Everything.
Hey guys, how are you? Hi. Yes, it is the What the Hell Everything podcast. My name is Smitty. What is the day? January 12th, 2022. And a good fucking Wednesday. I've actually had a good day. I love it when I just have good productivity days, you know? You get a couple of those days in a row where you don't feel like you're doing a whole lot, you know, you feel like you're lazy bones, and then you have a couple of good productive days and you're like, all right, righted that ship. Although I think most of the time, if I were to have what I would consider a lazy day, you know, I just think that's me saying I haven't done enough. Because I feel like most people would say that my lazy days, you still get shit done. And, you know, a little bit at a time. Fun podcast. I guess that remains to be seen, right? We haven't done it yet. Should be a fun podcast. I can't wait to talk about this robot art that hit me in the guts earlier today. So we're going to talk about that and why I am trying to emulate robot art in a way. It's fucking what the hell everything. Also, I think I'm really over fast food. I don't know how disciplined I'll be with it, but talk about it coming up in a bit. Fat Chicks Barbecue. I do want to give a huge shout out because they are the sponsors of the What the Hell Everything podcast. Tim and Heather, Fat Chicks Barbecue, the bustling metropolis of Atlanta, Michigan, destination barbecue. And it was, you know, it was really funny when, you know, previous podcasts, I talked about the chili cheese dog pizza that Levi made. And then Fat Chicks Barbecue made their own chili cheese dog pizza and called it a Cortman. I think it was Michael Stevens, podcast guest extraordinaire. Just a wizard. Anyway, he was like, oh, why don't you just call it Levi's rather than the Cortmans? Busting their balls. Obviously, don't really think anybody ripped off anybody's recipe. That's not the case. There's all kinds of places that do some sort of chili cheese dog pizza, but it's fun to make fun of Tim and Heather in that way because that's what I do. But it would be a really fun little thing to have Levi come up with a recipe for Fat Chicks, see if they could pull it off to his high standards. We've talked about that before. I think when we talked about getting this podcast sponsorship going, we talked about, yeah, we could have Levi, one of Levi's recipes on, and they were down with it. And then we never really followed up from there. So I think that would be really fun. Get some of Levi's Hogzilla eggs or something fun on. but in this case, it was the chili cheese pizza, aka the Levi. Just kidding. It's called the Cortman. I do believe it's either this Saturday and Sunday, meaning just a couple days from now, or like a week away. Saturday and Sunday. I'm not 100% sure. Look, just go in there, get a hold of them, message them on their Facebook page, find their menu, and it's look. I don't feel like my sampling size has been small. I feel like I've had a good sampling size of barbecue in Northern Michigan. Okay. Been all like Johnny Cash. I've been all over this fucking place. Tasted all kinds of fantastic barbecue. And I would put Fat Chicks Barbecue in the running for best barbecue joint in at least Northern Michigan. Okay. Which would automatically put them in the running for some best barbecue in the state of Michigan. Yeah, I said it. So make sure you check them out. Destination Barbecue, Atlanta, Michigan. They just have a way with flavor. And you know who doesn't have a way with flavor? Taco Bell. And you can throw in pretty much every fucking fast food restaurant in there. So like last night, I was really irritated, probably a little more than I needed to be. You know, I'd gotten out of work. I got out of work early because it was dead. There was two of us on. I got out of work early. I said, you know what? I'm gonna have a little fat guy cheat. You know, gonna hammer out some Taco Bell. I don't even get me started on the fucking the lack of, you know, they introduce a new menu option, which is good. Like whatever fucking grilled burritos they had, you have it once, you're like, oh, that's pretty fucking good. I'll have that again. Nope, not on the menu anymore. And I'm not even going to say which Taco Bell, although I will say Traverse City. But there's three. Guess which one? You throw them all in there. And it's every other fucking fast food joint. Seriously, every other fast food joint. Yeah, I'm lumping you all together. I don't know what the fucking problem there is. I don't know if it's the people that I don't know if it's the people that fast food jobs attract, because you see these fucking places raising wages. You're goddamn right. I've thought about working at McDonald's for $21 an hour, because you get it in your head, you know, as a former military guy who's worked in management before, you're like, I could fucking whip this place into shape in like a month. And I'm sure other people have thought that too, and went into this said fast food restaurant that they're like, what the fuck is going on here? Went in with that very intention, and it was just like a fucking disaster, like daddy daycare or some fucking bullshit. But it's like, and look, there will be people, because first of all, I will say 100% that I am on board with like a fucking living wage at fast food restaurants. All right. Prices for everything are going up. Part of that has to do with raising wages. I understand how inflation works. I understand how this works, but we need to make more fucking money somehow. People need to make enough money to live. A 40-hour fucking job should, in theory, make you enough money to fucking live on. Okay. So they're raising fucking wages at $21 an hour. So at some point, you got to ask for the standard to be raised, because look, here's the thing about all these fucking fast food restaurants. It's just the fucking way it is. That I'm going to use the new Wendy's in town as an example. Okay. Where the last few times before this particular new Wendy's popped up in Traverse City at the Cherryland Center, you know, I'd went to the last location that it was at on 3 Mile. And I'm like, it's fucking garbage. It was like the worst food, completely the wrong order. And in the way that, like, if I asked for like no onions, it was extra onions. It was just the complete opposite, fucking stupid and bad food, like terrible. So that was Wendy's. This new Wendy's opened up recently, and I'm like, well, I'll check out the new location, obviously, see how it is. And it was fucking fantastic. I mean, the food was like properly done. It wasn't just thrown together. It was fresh enough that it was, you know, it was really good. I'm like, fuck yeah, Wendy's. And then I went back probably 3 months later, and it was just a fucking disaster. where it's like the people that are working there don't know what the fuck is going on. What? Everybody's fucking standing around looking at somebody and fucking like on the fucking speaker. Look, maybe it's old fashioned. I don't necessarily want fake warmth and customer service cheer, but something along the lines of, hey, welcome to this place. Take your order. Oh, sorry, there's a wait. Just like, yeah, what can I get you? Yeah, I get it. We're all fucking broke. All right. We all have jobs we fucking hate, but fuck off with your bullshit fucking attitudes. So that's one. And then the fucking food is always shit. Not always. There's those times enough. And especially as a fat guy, you were like, I just hate myself. I'm only eating because I hate myself. I'm only eating because I hate myself. You don't even really give a fuck. You're like, oh, this is the food that sort of tastes good, but it's usually, or at least sometimes, it's good enough. You're like, okay, this is why I come here. This is why I'm ordering this goddamn thing. But like Taco Bell yesterday, I bet you for the last fucking 5 times I've been to Taco Bell, and it's just been shit show disaster. Where when you pull in when it's fucking not even that late. It's like 7:00, and you can tell when you can't see any cars. When you pull up to the drive-thru, you make your order to whatever fucking dipshit I'm trying to talk to. It was like, yeah, just like speak fucking clearly. You're talking into a microphone. I know what I'm talking about because I don't speak clearly a fucking lot. But it's just always a disaster. The food was shit. The burritos were just like sloppily thrown together. The quesadillas were like garbage fucking smashed. And I'm just like, you know what? I think I'm fucking done with all this bullshit. I don't really feel like I ever want to go to a fucking fast food restaurant ever again. I think I'm worn out on it. Will I? Stick to my my guns, because man, it's really a terrible fucking like reflection on something. I don't know if it's because I feel like if no matter the business, it's like I'm gonna use the fucking Detroit Lions as an analogy. All right, they've sucked their whole fucking career since I've been alive. Okay, the whole time I've been alive, pretty much they suck. But you see a little headway with the current head coach and organization where they're creating a culture of winning. Okay, it starts from the fucking top down. And I know so many of these places, there's a couple like fast food places that I've heard about recently that have just followed the managers out the door, and other customer service places that have just followed the manager that they love out the door because they know it's going to be fucked as soon as he brings. It's like you have one competent person running the place, and it's just, is it impossible to hire competent people? And I'm going to preface this, not preface, I've already been talking for 16 fucking hours. I worked in fast food, 2 jobs. At age of 14, my first job was at Burger King. I worked there for, I don't know if it was a year, but it was 6 months, maybe. And then I worked at McDonald's for a good solid year when I was 16. Like, I know what the fuck I'm talking about, man. I know, because I'm not that fucking smart. I do a lot of dumb shit. I was one of those fucking idiots working there. But is like, I don't understand why it's so fucking hard to have people show up to do the job you're there to do halfway fucking professionally and with a halfway decent attitude. You're paying, like, what is it? $21 an hour now. You're paying people. Like, if you're raising the pay, you got to raise the standards. These fucking places are awful. I mean, there's a lot of customer service places like that are kind of suffering, but not like that, where it's just always shitty. No businesses. The only reason the businesses are fucking surviving is because, like, that's the only option. Like, the whole fucking pandemic, fast food places were like busy out the door because no other places were fucking open. Like, oh, drive through. Okay, I can go there. I don't have to go inside. Man, they fucking suck. I think I'm over it. Because my figure sure is over it. Oh, I will say, man, I've really noticed, and I don't think I don't think that the elliptical is like building muscle on my upper body. My lower body, I'm smoking that fucking lower body workout. My ass is going to look great when this is all said and done. But I mean, I'll tell you, I don't know how much work it's doing for my, I can tell, I can feel it that because I'm doing this shit, moving, pushing that fucking thing on the elliptical. So I'm getting some sort of like tone upper body workout. And it's not any sort of like weights that I'm lifting. Get the fuck out of here. I'm not doing that. But that was the whole point to what I was saying. But it doesn't matter. What I'm fucking saying is is that I'm over Taco Bell, I'm over fast food, and you know, the workout. That's what I was saying. The lower body is totally because I've been doing these new like knee workouts too. Again, I do these elliptical runs for a good solid fucking hour to 90 minutes. I did an hour 10 today, and came up with a great fucking merch idea. Teaser, spoiler alert, I won't tell you right now, but later. But I've been following this, I don't know if he's a knee specialist. I mean, I follow an Instagram page called Knees Over Toes, and it's got a lot of testimonials on it. And I don't know if he's a knee specialist necessarily, but these ways to strengthen your knees, and my knees garbage. So what I've been doing at the end of like these hour and a half fucking smoking runs where I'm just sopping fucking mess already when this run is done. Then I just stop and then reverse the elliptical. Because this is one thing they say, if you're strengthening your knees, when I say they, whoever runs this fucking Instagram page, running backwards, pulling weight, running backwards like that really strengthens your knees. That push back really helps a lot. Man, I can feel it right now. My knee just popped. There's no way the microphone picked that up. But like, man, I feel great. Like my whole lower body, the way that I do these fucking workouts, obviously they're just elliptical. So it's mainly lower body that you're working on. But it's just, I'm feeling that it's less and less and less love handles. My thighs aren't floating together like they normally do. And I'm like, man, yeah, my ass is gonna look fucking fantastic. Switching gears here. Got to get a little drinky poo before I went live. Now I have a dry throat, but I do want to check the story out. This might make me an asshole, but this is one of those things. As soon as I saw it, I was like, "Fuck off," because not everything's a hero. It's just not the way. Maybe technically it's a hero. I don't know, but I'll have a hard time. Maybe PETA will disagree with me. I'll have a hard time recognizing a rat as a hero, specifically a rat named Magawa, who is recognized as a hero for detecting landmines, dead at age 8. Died peacefully this weekend, by the way. Did not die in the active duty. Like, look, I value lives. I value animal lives. I value kind of people lives. I mean, you know, it is what it is. But you have a hard time. That's when we push the level of absurdity, because we can train rats all day long to detect landmines, and they're just, you know, doing rat things. I don't mind rats getting blown up. maybe that's terrible. Oh man, he hates my guts. A rat recognized as a hero for detecting landmines, dead at 8, and that is reason number 652 that I'm an asshole. So let's switch gears again. This, because if you don't know me by now, I'm a huge proponent of the legal marijuana. It has done wonders for me. I can't even, I'm not exaggerating. That is not overblown to say that it has changed my life for the better. So this is kind of cool to see, even though it's not weed, it is hemp, although it does get the same sort of harassment, or that's not the right word, the same sort of like scrutiny from anti-cannabis cannabis users or anti-marijuana advocates or whatever the fucking term is. You know what I'm talking about. Hemp compounds identified by Oregon State University research via a chemical screening technique invented at Oregon State show the ability to prevent the virus that causes COVID-19 from entering human cells. It goes down. There's all kinds of science. It's a real news story too, by the way, or at least from oregonstate.edu. So it's looks like real news. Hemp, known scientifically as cannabis sativa, is a source of fiber, food, and animal feed, and multiple hemp extracts and compounds are added to cosmetics, body lotions, dietary supplements, and food. And it goes down. There's all sorts of science stuff. If you want the story, hit me up some way, somehow. I'll send you the link. But I love reading stories like that, man. More and more people are catching on. I'm having scheduled more guests coming soon to the podcast. Weed advocates, cannabis advocates, hemp advocates, you fucking name it, man. People that have weed companies. I'm throwing out sponsorship offers to some medical marijuana companies and recreational marijuana companies for the podcast. And it is just, I was one of those people that by and large thought weed was bullshit. Like, shut up, you fucking stoners. Oh, you fucking stoners. Like, and then once you realize, at least for me, it took a little bit of like getting used to it because it never sat well with me physically or mentally, but once I kind of figured out how much I needed and, what it did for me, and I can't praise the benefits of medical marijuana enough because it's given me the guts and the this whole podcast is me just trying to figure out words. The guts to do the fucking thing, whatever I'm doing here. When I say give me the guts to do what I'm doing here, it's no better illustrated than this story that I'm moving on to, because that hemp story all of a sudden seemed fucking awkward. But this, and I need to get my glasses on for it. I will share this screen so I can share this video. I'm going to read this entire post. I'm going to show the picture on the live stream and then read the post that goes with it. If you're listening on Spotify or whatever, then just know you are looking at a piece of art. It's of a robot and leaking hydraulic fluid. Okay. So let me share this and then put my glasses on. And there we go. Let's do that. Okay. So let me put my glasses on. It was one of the most poignant goddamn things I've seen in a long time. It almost made me cry. It might even make me fucking cry. Reading it, which would be a fucking nightmare. This is from a woman's name, but I will tell you her name after the fact. No piece of art has ever emotionally affected me the way this robot arm piece has. It's programmed to try to contain the hydraulic fluid that's constantly leaking out and required to keep itself running. If too much escapes, it'll die. So it's if too much escapes, it'll die. So it's desperately trying to pull it back to continue to fight for another day. Saddest part is that they gave the robot the ability to do these happy dances to spectators. When the project was first launched, it danced around, spending most of its time interacting with the crowd since it could quickly pull back the small spillage. Many years later, as you see it now in the video, or I didn't see the video, I'm going to look for that. Anyway, many years later, it looks tired and hopeless as there isn't enough time to dance anymore. And now only has enough time to try to keep itself alive as the amount of leaked hydraulic fluid became unmanageable as the spill grew over time. Living its last days in a never-ending cycle between sustaining life and simultaneously bleeding out, figuratively and literally, as its hydraulic fluid was purposely made to look like its actual blood. The robot arm finally ran out of hydraulic fluid in 2019, slowly coming to a halt and died. And I'm now tearing up over a friggin' robot arm. That is the poster, not I. It was programmed to live out this fate, and no matter what it did or how hard it tried, there was no escaping it. Spectators watched as it slowly bled out until the day that it ceased to move forever. Saying that this resonates doesn't even do it justice. And then it was created by Sun Wan. I'm fucking murdering these names. I apologize. Sun Wan and Peng Yu. They named the piece "Can't Help Myself." And then there's extended interpretations that this poster, who I will name when I'm done, extended interpretations of the art, which hit me again. The hydraulic fluid in relation to how we kill ourselves both mentally and physically for money, just in an attempt to sustain life. How the system is set up for us to fail on purpose, to essentially enslave us and to steal the best years of our lives, to play the game that the richest people of the world have designed. How this robs us of our happiness, passion, and our inner peace. How we're slowly drowning with more responsibilities, with more expected of us, less rewarding payoffs, and less free time to enjoy ourselves with as the years go by. How there's really no escaping the system, and that we were destined at birth to follow a pretty specific path that was already laid out before us. How can we give and give and give, and how easily we can be forgotten after we're gone. How we are loved and respected, then one day we aren't any longer, and we become a burden, and how our young, free-carrying spirit gets stolen from us as we get churned out of the broken system that we're trapped inside of. It can also be seen as to represent the human life cycle and the fact that none of us make it out of this world alive. So that's an interpretation from the poster, and I will tell you her name, Kaylee Kismet, found it on Facebook. And man, that hit me. Because if anything, that is 100% what I'm trying, or how I am trying to live my life, is to avoid that shit. You know, it's nothing against anybody else's decisions. It's nothing against any decisions my friends or family make or anything like that. I don't look down on people for like buying houses or anything. I don't want to make it sound like that at all, but I have such a fucking problem with like the system. You're supposed to do this. You got to get it. You got to get this job so you can pay these fucking bills, so you can get this fucking credit, so you can get this fucking car. You're supposed to get married. You're supposed to get a house. You're supposed to. Oh, I was talking to somebody at the bar the other day, and he's like, "How much is rent in Traverse City now?" You know, cheap, barely anything is like $1,200 or $1,400 in Traverse City. You know, we're not making enough. We're just trying all these fucking things just to have enough to afford rent, just enough to afford to get your fucking car fixed, just enough so this doesn't get shut off. You know what I'm saying? And it's just day after day after day. And that's one thing I'm just feeling like I got to detach from. That's one reason I am just trying to set my own path and do my own thing and go. And why going to Ireland and hiking for a year is like, at this point, it's an obsession because I'm just like, I have to do this. And because that's exactly how I want to live my life now. Avoiding the shit that everybody thinks you're supposed to fucking do. You know, I've had discussions with friends about, because I have a lot of people tell me, Smitty, I'm going to actually unshare this now. So I think, is that done sharing now? Did I not share that? Whatever. Hopefully, I don't know if you saw that art or not, but oh my God, I completely lost my train of thought because I had to click 3 fucking things. What the fuck was I just talking about? Okay, I've remembered. I've had discussions with friends of mine because I do get friends of mine that say, Smitty, I'm living through you. You're doing the things that I've always wanted to do. And things like that. He's like, then they're like, but I can't do those things because I have all this to do. Even people that I know that don't have kids, they're like, oh, but we might have kids. I'm like, yeah, but you don't right now. Go do the things, man. People, even if you have kids, you can still take them to do the things you want to do. It doesn't have to be solo. You're not the people that love what I do. That solo part is not for them. That's just for me. But I'm just talking about the things that they want to do. They're like, oh, I wish I could do this, but I can't. Because I'm like, yes, you can. You can fucking do whatever you want, man. I just think more of us would be so much happier just doing kind of what we want to fucking do. And I know everybody can't necessarily do that. I know some people think they're restricted, but I don't think you're as restricted as you think you are. I don't think you're as restricted as you think you are. And I mean, maybe that's just me. I don't have fucking kids. I have a cat. With almost no debt because I say fuck all that. There you go. Fuck all of that. 100%. And I think we're getting close to the end of the podcast. I'm all right. I'm happy with that. I'm happy with this podcast. I'm happy with this new time slot. Live every single Monday and Wednesday at 2, live at 8 or 7. It can float between 7 and 8 on Friday nights. Mondays and Wednesdays at 2, Fridays at 7 or 8 live. I don't know if I'm gonna have guests on for this Friday night live, but I will have a Friday night live. And remember, video editions exclusively will be on Patreon starting April 1st. Only $3 a month. Patreon.com/we3Smiths. Otherwise, please like and subscribe and check out the Dave Grohl, or excuse me, the new movie for the Foo Fighters, Dave Grohl's new movie, Studio 666. I did a reaction video for that, and that'll be out at some point in the near future on the YouTube. So thanks, everybody. Have a good one. Till next time.